Abhabhuta. Adapted from the Archaic translation by Mrs. Rhys Davids. Abhabhuta. Reborn in this Buddha age in a Raja's family at the city of Vetapura, he was named Abhabhuta, and succeeded to the estate at his father's death. Now when the Exalted One arrived at his city on tour, Abhabhuta went to hear him, and on the morrow offered him hospitality. The Exalted One expressed the thanks he felt, and upon that taught him the path more in detail. Then the Raja found faith, left his estate for the monk's order, and realized arahantship. While he was living in the bliss of emancipation, his kindred, counselors and retainers came to him lamenting that he had left them without a chief. And he, teaching him the path by way of expressing the reason of his renunciation, said, "Hear, O you kinsmen, and give ear to me, all and as many as are gathered here. The path it is that you shall learn from me. Painful is birth again and yet again. Bestir yourselves, rise up, renounce and come. And yield your hearts unto the Buddha's rule. Shake off the armies of the King of Death, as did the elephant a hut of straw. Whosoever within this righteous discipline shall come with diligence to understand rebirth's eternal round put far away. All pain and suffering he shall end for yese." Thera Gautama. Adapted from the Archaic translation by Mrs. Rhys Davids. Gautama. Reborn in this Buddha age in the Sakyan clan, he came to be known only by his clan's name. He found faith when the Lord visited his family, and entering the monk's order and studying for insight, acquired sixfold abhina. Now, while he was living in the bliss of emancipation, his family asked him one day why he had put him aside and gone forth. And he, to show both the sorrow he had suffered in Sasara and the happiness of Nibbana which he then had gotten, said, "Lo, as I moved about through beings, I came to the kingdom infernal. So to the sad realm of the Pitas, times without number. Evil struck me again in manifold shapes of the beast world. Glad enough reborn as human, rarely I won to the heavens. Yes, in the realms of vision, in realms where all sense was abolished, have I been placed, and in realms between consciousness and the unconscious. All this becoming lies clearly before me as void of real value. Born of preceding conditions, unstable and constantly drifting. So comprehending the coming to be of this self of me, heedful, came I at length to find peace, yes, the peace in which I am resting." Thera Amitta. Adapted from the Archaic translation by Mrs. Rhys Davids. Amitta. Reborn in this Buddha age at Savatthi in a Brahmin family, he fell into the habit, from pride of birth, of calling other men low-born. Even after he had heard the path, and believed and entered the monk's order, he persisted from the cumulative force of the habit. But one day, after hearing the Lord preach, he reviewed his own mental procedure, and was distressed to mark the surrender to conceit and arrogance. Expelling it all, he conjured up insight and won arahantship. Thereafter, living in the bliss of emancipation, he testified to Anna in thus addressing the bhikkhus. He who is glad tomorrow to perform the things that he should yesterday have done, forfeit of happy opportunity, he shall soon repent him fierily. Let him but talk of that which should be done. Let him not talk of what should not be done. Of him who talks much but does not, wise men take stock, and rate him at his worth. O great, O wondrous is Nibbana's bliss, revealed by him, the utterly awakened one. There comes no grief, no passion, shelter sure. where sorrow and ailing perish forever. Thera: Vimala. Adapted from the Archaic translation by Mrs. Rhys Davids. Vimala. Reborn in this Buddha age at Benares in a Brahmin family, he entered the monk's order under Thera Amitta, and through his instigation acquired insight and won arahantship. Upon that he addressed a bhikkhu who was his comrade as follows: "From evil-minded friends keep far away, and make your choice among the best of men. To his advice hold fast, and let your heart aspire to happiness immutable. As one who, mounted on a puny plank, is in mid-ocean whelmed beneath the waves, so even he of blameless life did sink, when thrown together with the man of sloth. For what reason from such an one keep well apart? The sluggard and the poor in energy. Live you with them who live aloof, with wise, with noble ones who have renounced, who in rapt meditation ever strive.